Have you ever imagined picking up a signal that shouldn't exist? A sound coming from the void of space, whispering secrets that could change everything you know about the galaxy. I'm your favorite storyteller, and today I'm going to tell you the story of Elias Kane, a human hacker who stumbled upon something so dangerous it could erase history or rewrite it. Want to know what he found? Then stick with me, because this mystery will keep you hooked until the very end. Welcome to Sci-Fi Galaxy, where we dive into the most incredible stories in the universe. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that sneaky like button and subscribe, because today we're traveling to the year 2278 in a galaxy that's burning. Humanity is at war with the Scifians, an alien race that always seems to be one step ahead. Our ships vanish, our plans fail, and no one knows why. That is, until Elias Kane, a renegade hacker, intercepts a forbidden signal-coded message that doesn't come from humans or Scifians, but from something or someone far older. This message points to a legendary artifact capable of controlling time. Yes, controlling time. But here's the question: what if finding this artifact is the worst thing humanity has ever done? Let's find out together. Today you're going to follow a story packed with suspense, betrayals, and plot twists. We'll explore how Elias discovers the signal, faces dangers on forgotten planets, and starts questioning who's really behind this war. Will he save the galaxy or destroy it? Before we start, let me ask you, if you could change the past, what would you do? Think about that as we dive into this adventure. Hey, have you ever felt that chill down your spine when something unexpected happens? Like when you know you're about to uncover something that could change everything or put you in some serious danger. Well, that's exactly what's going on with Elias Kane, the guy we're following today. So, grab your coffee, sink into the couch, and come with me, because this story will grab you from the first second. It's 2278, and the galaxy is in absolute chaos. Humanity is in the middle of an intergalactic war against the Scifians, an alien race that always seems to be one step ahead. Their ships appear out of nowhere, like they're teleporting, and our fleets are getting obliterated. It's one of those moments where you look up at the starry sky and think, are we even going to survive this? But our protagonist, Elias Kane, isn't exactly the hero you'd expect. He's not fighting on the front lines or commanding a fleet. Nope. Elias is a hacker, a renegade living in the shadows, breaking codes for credits and a dose of adrenaline. He doesn't care much about the war, at least. That's what he tells himself. All he wants: to survive, period. But, as we all know, the universe has a funny way of messing with our plans, right? So, let me take you into this story. We're diving into the moment when Elias's life turns upside down, when he stumbles onto something he wasn't supposed to find. Ready? Let's go. Elias Kane, 29 years old, messy hair, eyes that always seem to be looking for an escape route. He's not the kind of guy you'd call by the book. He grew up in New Eden, an orbital megacity, floating in Jupiter's orbit, a place where neon lights never dim and the air always has that metallic tang of overworked recyclers. New Eden is like an anthill, thousands of people crammed into floating skyscrapers, drones buzzing around, and a constant tension in the air, because the war with the Scifians is always knocking at the door. Elias never fit into that system. As a teenager, he was already hacking security systems just to prove he could. It wasn't about money, at least not at first. It was about the thrill of cracking something no one else could. He got kicked out of 3 technical academies before he was 18, not because he wasn't brilliant, because, trust me, he is, but because he never played by the rules. Rules are for people who don't know how to improvise. He likes to say, with that crooked smile that hides more than it reveals. Now, in 2278, Elias lives hidden on an asteroid in the Omicron sector, a forgotten corner of the galaxy where no one goes by choice. The place is a cosmic desert, rocks floating in the void, wreckage of destroyed ships, and a silence that makes you hear your own heartbeat. His home, a makeshift station cobbled together from stolen parts and old ship scraps. He calls it the hole because, well, that's exactly what it is. A claustrophobic hideout filled with blinking monitors, dangling cables, and a chair that creaks every time he moves. Why is he so isolated? Let's just say Elias has a reputation. He's hacked Alliance systems, sold secrets to smugglers, and once even breached a Scifian fleet's communication network, just to see if he could. He survives because he's good at what he does, but also because he knows how to stay off the radar. Or at least, he thought he did. It's just another night if night even means anything in deep space. Elias is at his station, sipping synthetic coffee that tastes like motor oil. He's poking around clandestine signals, like he always does. It's how he makes a living, intercepting communications, decoding messages, and selling what he finds to the highest bidder. Nothing new, just another day's work. Until, suddenly, the main monitor flashes. It's not the usual flicker of a weak signal. It's an insistent flash, like the system is screaming for attention. Elias furrows his brow. What the hell is this? He mutters, adjusting the makeshift glasses he soldiered himself. The signal is unlike anything he's ever seen. It doesn't have the digital signature of the Earth Alliance, with its rigid, predictable codes, nor does it have the chaotic buzz of Scifian communications, which always feel like a swarm of digital bees. This signal is something else. It's rhythmic, almost like music, but loaded with data so dense it makes Elias's system freeze. For a second, have you ever had that feeling like you're looking at something you shouldn't? Like opening a door that was locked for a reason? That's exactly what Elias feels. He hesitates, fingers hovering over the keyboard. Part of him wants to shut everything down and pretend he didn't see anything. But the other part, the part that's gotten him into trouble his whole life, is itching to dig deeper. And, as always, curiosity wins. He starts decoding the first layer of the signal. The process is slow because the pattern is complex, almost like it was designed to confuse. But Elias is good. He tweaks the filters, rewrites some algorithms on the fly, and after a few tense minutes, the system spits out information, coordinates, a specific point at the edge of the galaxy, on a planet called Arcthis. Elias has heard of Arcthis, but only in legends. It's a dead world, covered in ruins from a civilization no one really knows about. Nobody goes there. It's too far, too dangerous, and, frankly, there's nothing valuable there. Or so everyone thought. But the signal doesn't stop at coordinates. There's more. As Elias digs deeper, he finds a word, Cronoshift. A chill runs through him. The Cronoshift is a myth, a story pilots tell in space taverns after a few shots of plasma liquor. They say it's an ancient artifact, created by a forgotten race, capable of bending the fabric of time, like going back to the past, changing the future, that kind of thing. Elias never bought into it. To him, it's just another tale to entertain drunks. But now, seeing this signal, he starts to wonder, what if it's real? Before we go on, let me tell you a bit more about Elias, because it'll help you understand why he doesn't drop this signal, even knowing it's dangerous. When he was a kid in New Eden, he lost his younger sister Lila in a Scifian attack. It was one of the war's first offensives, when nobody really knew what was going on. A Scifian ship appeared out of nowhere, destroyed an entire sector of the orbital city, and Lila was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Elias was 15 at the time, and he's never gotten over the guilt. He was messing with the city's security systems that day, trying to impress some hacker friends. When the attack came, he couldn't warn anyone in time. Since then, Elias carries that weight. He doesn't trust the Earth Alliance, which promised to protect New Eden and failed. He doesn't trust the Scifians, obviously. And deep down, he doesn't even trust himself. Hacking is his way of staying in control, of never being caught off guard again. So when he sees this signal talking about the Cronoshift, something sparks inside him. It's not just curiosity, it's a chance to fix things. Maybe, just maybe, he could undo the past. Have you ever felt that? That longing to go back and change something that's marked you forever? But the universe doesn't give anything for free, does it? As Elias is lost in these thoughts, trying to decode more layers of the signal, an alarm blares in the station. It's the proximity sensor. Something's approaching, and fast. He pulls up the radar screen and sees it. A Scifian ship, small but armed to the teeth, just minutes away. His heart races. Coincidence, he thinks, but deep down, he knows it's not. Someone or something knows he picked up the signal. Elias isn't one to panic, but he's also not stupid. He knows he doesn't stand a chance against a Scifian ship on a crumbling asteroid. He starts shutting down the station's systems, trying to erase any trace of the signal. But the monitor flashes again, and the signal feels alive. It's like it's adapting, trying to communicate with him. He swears he hears a whisper, faint, almost inaudible, coming from the speakers. Elias Kane. He shuts off the sound, but the whisper lingers in his head. Creepy, right? Have you ever felt like something's calling you, even though you know it's crazy? There's no time to think. The Scifian ship is almost in the asteroid's orbit. Elias bolts to his escape ship, the Shadowbite, a relic he patched together with stolen parts. It's not pretty, more like a pile of metal with thrusters, but it's fast and reliable. He jumps into the pilot's seat, fires up the engines, and feels the familiar rumble of the Shadowbite coming to life. The radar shows the Scifian ship launching a missile. Seriously, he yells, swerving to dodge. The asteroid explodes behind him, chunks of rock flying through space. Elias pushes the Shadowbite to its limits, plotting a makeshift hyperspace jump. He doesn't know exactly where he's going, but one thing's clear: he needs to get to Arctis. The signal, the Cronoshift, the chance to change everything. It's risky, it's dangerous, but it's bigger than him. As the Shadowbite leaps into hyperspace, with the Scifian ship hot on his tail, Elias feels a mix of fear and excitement. He's running away, sure, but he's also chasing something. The question is he ready for what's coming? What would you do in his place? Would you keep chasing the signal, knowing someone or something is hunting you? Drop it in the comments, because this story's just getting started, and things are about to get way more intense. Picture this: you're piloting a beat-up ship, heart pounding, weaving through an asteroid field that feels like it's out to swallow you. To make things worse, an alien ship is hunting you, and you just found out the humans, who should be your allies, think you're a traitor. That's how Elias Kane is feeling right now, piloting his makeshift ship, the Shadowbite, toward Arctis, a planet no one in their right mind would visit. So, buckle up, because this journey is just beginning, and things are about to get a whole lot wilder. Arctis isn't just any planet. It's at the edge of the galaxy, in a region so remote that even the Earth Alliance's most advanced star maps label it uninhabitable. It's a dead world, covered in ruins from a civilization so ancient no one knows who they were. Some say it was a race that ruled the galaxy before the Scifians showed up. Others say it's a cursed place where ships vanish and never return. Elias has heard these stories, but he's never been one to buy into ghost tales. At least, not until now, as he maneuvers the Shadowbite through the asteroid fields of the Omicron sector. The signal he picked up on the asteroid comes back. It's that same rhythmic pattern, almost like music, but now it's stronger, more insistent. It's like it's calling him, whispering his name. Elias, Archis. He shakes his head, trying to ignore it, but the sound feels like it's coming from inside the ship, or worse, inside his head. Never had that feeling like something's pulling you, even though you know it might be a bad idea. That's exactly what Elias is feeling, but there's no time for paranoia. The Shadowbite's radar beeps, and Elias's heart skips a beat. A Scifian ship is on his tail, one of those light corvettes that look more like a swarm of wasps than a spaceship. The Scifians are known for their cloaking tech, making their ships nearly impossible to detect until they're right on top of you. Elias grips the controls, dodging an asteroid the size of a mountain. "Come on, girl, don't let me down now," he mutters to the Shadowbite, which responds with a worrying metallic groan. Then comes the second problem. As he's evading the Scifians, an encrypted transmission comes in from the human fleet. Elias hesitates but opens the channel. The voice on the other end is cold, military, and doesn't waste time. "Elias Kane, you are accused of treason. Surrender immediately, or be considered an enemy of the Earth Alliance." He shuts off the channel with a curse. Treason? He's not even involved in the war. But then he remembers the signal, the Cronoshift, and starts piecing things together. Someone knows he picked up that signal, and both humans and Scifians want him dead for it. Think about it. You're being hunted by both sides of an intergalactic war, carrying a secret that could change everything, and you have no idea who to trust. What would you do? Elias sees only one way out: head to Arctis. If the Cronoshift is real, it could be the key to ending the war, at least fixing his past. Like the death of his sister Lila, that still weighs on his shoulders. But he knows he's stepping into a dangerous game, where the rules aren't clear. After hours of dodging asteroids and outsmarting the Scifian ship with a risky maneuver, diving the Shadowbite into a debris field to confuse enemy sense, finally reaches Arctis's orbit. The planet is a desolate spectacle. From afar, it looks like a grey dust ball, with cracks glowing in shades of blue and purple, like the planet itself has pulsing veins. He descends carefully, the shaking as it cuts through an atmosphere filled with electrical storms. If this is a dead planet, it's pretty lively for a corpse, Elias mutters, trying to keep his spirits up. When he lands, the scene is even stranger. The ground is covered in black sand that seems to absorb light. Everywhere, there are ruins of towers and temples, made of a material that looks like stone but glows with symbols pulsing in hypnotic rhythms. Elias has never seen anything like it. He connects his datapad to the signal, which is now so strong it makes the device vibrate. The coordinates lead him straight to a massive temple, with an entrance that looks like the mouth of a giant monster. He swallows hard. "All right, Elias, you've been in worse places, I think," he says to himself, but his voice betrays a nervousness he won't admit. As he explores the ruins, guided by the signal, he feels a heaviness in the air. It's like he's being watched. Every step echoes, and the wind carries whispers he swears aren't just his imagination. He tries to focus on the glowing symbols on the walls, which seem to tell a story or maybe a warning. But before he can decode anything, a shadow moves in the corner of his eye. He spins, aiming the plasma pistol he always carries. "Who's there?" he shouts, but silence is the only reply. Or almost, because suddenly, a hooded figure emerges from the shadows. Moving with a grace that doesn't feel human, the figure stops a few meters from Elias. It's tall, slender, with a hood covering its face. "You shouldn't be here," human says, a smooth but firm voice, with an accent Elias has never heard. He tightens his grip on the pistol but doesn't shoot. Something about the voice, it's female, makes him hesitate. "And who are you? Scifian, Alliance, or just a mirage?" He snaps back, trying to sound more confident than he feels. The figure pulls back the hood, revealing a face that's both familiar and alien. Her skin is a silvery hue, with large eyes that shine like stars. "I am Zara, emissary of the Arathians," she says, as if that explains everything. Elias blinks, confused. Arathians, the race that, according to history books, went extinct millennia ago. He laughs nervously. "Right, and I'm the Emperor of the Galaxy. Care to explain what's going on here?" Zara doesn't smile. She explains that the Arathians never went extinct. They hid, living in secret to protect an even greater secret, the Cronoshift. According to her, the artifact was created by the Arathians to maintain the galaxy's balance, but its power is dangerous. Every time the timeline is altered, reality weakens, a crack appears, and what comes after? No one knows, she says, her tone chilling. Elias wants to laugh it off, but the signal on his datapad is pulsing in sync with her words, as if confirming her story, and here's the question. Would you trust a mysterious alien who shows up out of nowhere with a story that sounds insane? Elias doesn't trust her, but he's also out of options. He's alone, on a strange planet, with Scifians and humans on his tail. Zara offers to help him find the Cronoshift, which she says is hidden in the temple ahead. "Why should I believe you?" he asks. Zara just looks at him, her eyes gleaming. "Because, Elias Kane, the signal chose you, and that's no coincidence." Reluctantly, Elias accepts Zara's help, but keeps an eye on her. They start exploring the temple together, facing traps that seem straight out of a nightmare. Floors that collapse, lasers shooting from walls, and ancient drones that awaken with a menacing hum. Elias uses his hacking skills to disable some traps, while Zara seems to know the place like the back of her hand, which only makes him more suspicious. "You've been here before, haven't you?" he asks, dodging another trap. Zara just smiles, a smile that reveals nothing. As they press on, the signal grows stronger, almost unbearable. Elias starts getting headaches, and the voices, yes, now their voices get clearer. Arcthis, Cronoshift, Destiny. He tries to ignore them, but it's like the signal is inside him, messing with his thoughts. Zara notices his unease and says, "The Cronoshift isn't just a machine. It senses who approaches it, and it tests them." Tests that's not in the space survival manual, and Elias is starting to think he's in way over his head. But the worst is yet to come. As they near the heart of the temple, Scifian drones invade the ruins. Not the big ships from before, but small, fast drones equipped with blades that cut through metal like paper. Elias and Zara fight to survive, with him hacking the drones in real time, and her using a strange weapon that fires energy pulses. Amid the chaos, Elias notices something. The drones aren't acting like normal machines. They seem coordinated, like something bigger is controlling them. And that leads us to the next part of our story. Now things get really serious. Elias and Zara are in the middle of an alien temple, surrounded by killer drones, with a mysterious signal echoing in his head. And to make it worse, Elias is starting to realize that nothing in this story is what it seems. Ever had that moment when everything you thought you knew falls apart? That's where Elias is right now. So, take a deep breath, because the suspense is only ramping up. As they fight the drones, Elias connects his datapad to one of the fallen enemies. He's a hacker, after all, and he's not letting a drone get away without spilling its secrets. What he finds chills him to the bone. The drones aren't being controlled by the Scifians. The codes are human, not from the Earth Alliance, but from a rebel faction called Aurora. Elias has heard rumors about Aurora group of dissidents who believe the war with the Scifians is a sham, a distraction to keep the galaxy in chaos. But he never imagined they'd be capable of something like this. Think about it. What if the entire war, all these years of destruction, was a lie? What if someone was manipulating humans and Scifians like pieces on a cosmic chessboard? Elias starts connecting the dots. The signal he picked up, the one that led him to Arctis, came from Aurora. They wanted someone to find the Cronoshift, and Elias was the lucky or unlucky fool who fell into their trap. He confronts Zara, pointing his plasma pistol at her. You knew about this, didn't you? Who are these people? And what are you hiding? Zara doesn't flinch. Instead, she drops another bombshell. The Erathians aren't extinct. They've been hiding, living in secret colonies, using the war as a smokescreen to protect the Cronoshift. The artifact isn't just a weapon, she says. It can erase entire events as if they never happened. But every use creates a crack in reality, and Aurora knows this. Elias is torn. Part of him wants to believe Zara, because she saved him from the drones. But another part, the part that hasn't trusted anyone since his sister's death, is screaming that she's hiding something. And the signal, it's stronger than ever, pulsing in his datapad and his head. He starts seeing flashes, visions, of things that don't make sense. A galaxy at peace, a galaxy in flames, himself standing before the Cronoshift with blood on his hands. Are these visions of the future, or the past? He doesn't know, but he's starting to get scared. Meanwhile, the Shadowbite S radar, left hidden in the ruins, beeps. Fleets are approaching, Arctis human and Scifian. It seems everyone wants the Cronoshift, and Elias is caught right in the crossfire. He and Zara need to race against time to reach the temple before the fleets arrive. But with every step, Elias feels like he's being manipulated. Aurora, the Erathians, the signal, they all seem to want to use him. And the question that won't leave his mind is, who's really in control? We've reached the climax, and things are heating up literally. Elias and Zara finally enter the heart of the temple, a massive hall where the Cronoshift awaits. The artifact is a pulsing sphere, glowing with an energy that feels alive, like it has a heartbeat of its own. Elias feels the Cronoshift's power, calling, almost like it's speaking to him. Elias fixed change. The voices are louder now, and he can't tell if they're from the signal, the artifact, or his own mind. Zara is beside him, urging him to destroy the If you use it, reality will collapse. You've seen the visions, haven't you? Every change creates a crack, and those cracks will swallow everything. But as she speaks, Elias's datapad receives a message from Aurora. It's a direct transmission, pleading with him to use the artifact. You can end the war, Elias. You can save your sister, fix the galaxy. All you need to do is activate the Cronoshift. Aurora's voice is persuasive, almost hypnotic, and Elias feels the temptation growing. But then comes the final twist. As he hacks the temple's system to understand the Cronoshift, he uncovers the truth. The signal that brought him here was designed to lure someone like him. Someone curious enough to reach the artifact, but expendable enough to be sacrificed. Aurora never intended for him to survive. They wanted him to activate the Cronoshift, triggering a reaction that would give them control of the galaxy. And Zara, she's hiding something too. The visions Elias is having show her, in other times, manipulating events, as if the Erathians also want the artifact for their own ends. The sky above Arctis is ablaze now, with human and Scifian ships, locked in an epic battle. Explosions echo, and the temple starts to shake. Elias stands before the Cronoshift, datapad in hand, trying to hack it to disable it without unleashing its power. But every line of code he writes triggers more visions. Futures where the galaxy is at peace. Futures where everything is darkness. Futures where he doesn't exist. He's running out of time. And the choice is in his hands. Use the Cronoshift and risk destroying reality. Destroy it and trust the Erethians, or find a third way no one saw coming. So, what would you do? Would you risk everything for a chance at peace, or play it safe, knowing the war would go on? Elias makes his choice, but I'm not telling you the ending just yet. Let's keep this suspense in the air, because I want to hear your take in the comments. What a ride, huh? Today, we dove into the story of Elias Kane, a hacker who stumbled onto a forbidden signal and ended up in the middle of an intergalactic mystery. He faced Scifians, uncovered Arathian secrets, and discovered that the Cronoshift, an artifact capable of controlling time, could be the key or the ruin of the galaxy. This story makes us think, how far would you go to change fate? And more importantly, how do you know who to trust when everyone seems to have a hidden agenda? If you loved this adventure, don't forget to hit that sneaky like button, because it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe now and ring the bell so you don't miss a single story. And guess what? There's another epic video waiting for you. The Ghost of the Fleet, a space thriller that'll leave you speechless. The link's in the description and on the screen, so click it and keep this cosmic journey going. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. You're awesome. Drop in the comments. What would you do in Elias's shoes? Would you use the Cronoshift or destroy it? And who knows, maybe your idea will inspire our next story. Until next time, let the stars guide you.